Hello, fellas and ladies, or should I say, hello, folk and women. It's time to predict the BAFTA winners. It's on Sunday, and, they're a pretty big precursor, although last year they kind of went off the rails and they had basically nothing in common with each other. Although although in previous years they were very, very reliable. But we're still going to predict it nonetheless, so let's just go right into that with best film. In all likelihood, it's going to be Oppenheimer. If Oppenheimer were to start falling off, this isn't where it would happen. It's going to win here. No reason to question that. Could there be like a random upset for like the Holdovers or Anatomy of a Fall? I mean, perhaps it's crossed my mind, but I'm going to keep it quick and say Oppenheimer's going to win. I mean, they quite liked it. I think it got like 13 nominations, which is like exactly how much it got at the Oscars. And Oppenheimer just seems to be this beast that doesn't have any real signs of slowing down anytime soon. So I'm just gonna go with Oppenheimer, and then I'm just gonna go right to director and say Christopher Nolan's gonna win. I don't need to say much. It's gonna be Christopher Nolan. Now, best actor leading role gets a little sticky because I am really saying it could. Man, I'm kind of like starting to think it might just be Paul Giamatti, at least here. Weirdly enough. Because a lot of people are saying, oh, Cillian's going to win BAFTA, but then Paul might win SAG. And to that I say, if you really think Paul Giamatti can't win BAFTA, then I would say he can't win the Oscar. I do think Paul Giamatti winning BAFTA is not only possible, but I even go as far as to say likely. And while I am going to stick with Cillian Murphy, just because I've been on that train for months now, I am starting to wonder if Paul Giamatti is just going to sweep. Although, what I think is honestly likely is, weirdly enough, which a lot of people will say the opposite, but like I actually kind of think it's possible that Paul Giamatti wins this and then Cillian Murphy wins SAG. But I am going to stick with Cillian Murphy. I'm aware that's the smarter option. I'm just going to go with him here, and then the Oscar, and then SAG. But man, I got my eye out for Paul Giamatti hard. Like, I don't know why people are underestimating him here, as if they didn't love The Holdovers. Best actress in a leading role. I gotta be honest, I think it's just gonna be Emma Stone. A lot of people are kind of wondering about Sandra Hüller, and I totally get that, and it could be Hüller. It could be Sandra Hüller. Problem is, that just sounds like something that we think the, BAFTA's gonna do, but like it does, it then ends up just being Emma Stone. Honestly, a part of me is just kind of thinking Emma Stone's just gonna go all the way to the Oscar win. I feel like we're being a little too cavalier about the fact that Lily Gladstone missed this category and lost Critics' Choice. I feel like we're being a little too passive about that. Sandra Hüller could win this. I definitely get the argument, but I feel like, I don't know. I think I'm just gonna stick with Emma Stone. That feels safer than a Sandra Hüller upset. Supporting actor, Robert Downey Jr. Robert Downey Jr. is just going to go all the way, and even if, like, there is someone that challenges him, I don't really think that's going to be here. I know last year, like, Barry Keoghan happened, but, like, last year was an anomaly. I don't know what to tell you. Supporting actress is just going to be Da'Vine Joy Randolph. Again, there's no real reason to consider anything else. BAFTA, I know what happened last year. I know last year was weird, but, like, 9 times out of 10... BAFTA just does what it's supposed to do. When there's something that they're supposed to do, they just do it. And, like, Ke Huy Quan last year is just an exception. Like, in the lead acting categories, they don't have to do Paul. They don't have to do Emma Stone. Like, there's a wiggle room where an upset can happen. Here, there's a frontrunner, and for a movie that they really loved, and that's Da'Vine Joy Randolph. They're not gonna do Emily Blunt. Like, I know people are gonna, like, try and float that because she has a British accent, and God forbid Oppenheimer lose something. Best original screenplay, this one's tricky. It won't be Maestro, and I'm not gonna lie, I'm kinda giving up on Past Lives. I don't know, Past Lives just seems to be on a lull, and I just think it's just not gonna win. Sucks, but that's just the case. That leaves The Holdovers, Barbie, and Anatomy of a Fall. I know y'all are gonna be like, no, not Barbie! Not Barbie! No, fuck you. Fuck off. Barbie can win this category. But yeah, it just makes sense as the screenplay winner. I know it's an adapted at the Oscars, but it just kind of adds up to me as that thing. It has like the layered commentary, the genre bending. That's what wins screenplay. But I can't ignore that the BAFTAs quite like The Holdovers and Anatomy of a Fall, and I think I'm gonna go with Anatomy of a Fall. I'm not buying that The Holdovers is gonna like ransack the Oscar race, and I feel like Holdovers just winning screenplay this late in the game feels a little unnatural. Whereas Anatomy of a Fall is such a screenplay-y movie, even more so than Barbie to an extent, that I actually do think that Anatomy of a Fall is going to win this category and then win the Oscar. There's like 2 scenarios where Anatomy of a Fall goes into the Oscar night as the only movie with only original screenplay nominee with a screenplay victory because Barbie is going to be adapted. So that makes things interesting. I do think people shouldn't underestimate Barbie here. I know it's easy to look at Barbie's BAFTA thing and be like, but I don't know. Barbie's picking up steam a little bit, like not to the extent that it's gonna like beat Oppenheimer and Best Picture, but like I think it's enough where a screenplay victory, the bare minimum at this rate, feels likely. Best adapted screenplay. Oh, this one's hard. This one's really hard. Okay, I'm gonna eliminate two right off the bat. Zone of Interest is not gonna win. Love Zone of Interest, but not screenplay. And then weirdly enough, I'm gonna eliminate American Fiction because it's its only nominee. Like, it might win the Oscar, but not here. That leaves, weirdly enough, I do think Strangers has a weirdly outside shot of winning. Like, if they want to be weird, I feel like Strangers could be that one. But I'm really looking at Oppenheimer and Poor Things. I feel like I've been a little too dismissive of Oppenheimer and screenplay. It makes sense. It's probably winning picture. It has a screenplay script. It's a lot, very dialogue heavy. It plays with time. Poor Things, I can't explain it. Don't ask me to explain it. I'm just really confident that Poor Things is going to lose screenplay at the Oscars. Here it could win, but like I don't know. I think at the Oscar it's American Fiction or Oppenheimer or Barbie. But it could just be here that Poor Things wins. If Poor Things or Oppenheimer lose this, then they're disqualified. But I do think that one of them is going to be our winner here, unless Strangers like shocks the shit out of us, or even American Fiction shocks the shit out of us. Am I gonna go with Oppenheimer? I think I'm gonna go with Oppenheimer here. I don't know, but then I would have to predict it for the Oscar, and I'm like, I don't want to predict Oppenheimer gets 9 wins. That's crazy. Maybe I do stick with Poor Things, at least at BAFTA. No, I'll just. I feel like the safest bet is Oppenheimer. That feels like the safe with Barbie not in the picture. I feel like Oppenheimer's a safer pick. Animated film is going to be Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse. People are going to claim it's The Boy and the Heron, at least because they'll be like, oh, BAFTA will go for it. Don't really see much evidence to support that. I do think it's going to be Spider-Verse. Documentary? 20 Days of Mariupol. Oh, yeah, why was I thinking about it? It's going to be 20 Days of Mariupol. It's the only Oscar nominee here. It's going to be 20 Days of Mariupol. And it was nominated for non-English, so bada bing, bada boom, take it home with you. Best film not in the English language, that's going to be Anatomy of a Fall. It's the biggest film of the nominees here. Yeah, there's going to be an argument for Zone of Interest. I mean, the argument exists, but I think Anatomy of a Fall is just going to win it. Best casting? I don't know. This one sucks. I genuinely, there's no rhyme or pattern with this category. Like, hold on, let me look at the winners here. Last year, Elvis won. They casted 2 guys, and one of them, the casting sucked. The year before, West Side Story. That made sense. Year before that, Rocks. And then the year before that was Joker. What? Yeah, the casting category doesn't make any sense to the point where, honestly, I think I'm just going to go throw a dart at a board and see how it works. Yeah, I'm going to go do that. Actually, no, I'm going to go do that right now, actually. All right, so it's a dartboard. I'm filming on my phone right now, so if it's crooked, that's why. All right, so the nominees were All of Us Strangers, Anatomy of a Fall, The Holdovers, How to Have Sex, and Kills of the Flower Moon. I have a standard 1 to 20. If I go 1 to 4, that's congratulations to All the Strangers. 5 to 8, that's Anatomy. 9 to 12, that's The Holdovers. 13 to, I believe, 16 is How to Have Sex. And then 17 to 20, Kills the Flower Moon. All right, there we go. Here's if I can go. All right, I'm predicting All of Us Strangers. Best cinematography. Okay. This could go to Oppenheimer. It could go to Poor Things. I do think Oppenheimer's going to win the Oscar, but a part of me is actually thinking about leaning towards Poor Things here. I do think Oppenheimer has more of a narrative, cinematography-wise, but I think Poor Things is a lot showier. But I don't know. I feel like there's just going to be another Oppenheimer blowout, and I do think Oppenheimer's winning the Oscar. You know what? Let's just predict Oppenheimer. I do think Poor Things does stand a chance, but I'm just going to stick with Oppenheimer. Costume design. All right. Listen here. Listen to what I'm about to say. Barbie is going to win the Oscar. Even if Poor Things wins this one, Barbie's gonna win the Oscar. You have my word. It's on the record. It's happening. Congratulations to Jacqueline Duran on your Oscar win. That's happening. BAFTA, however, I do think some, nuances owed, because I do think Poor Things is a possibility. But I don't know. I feel like costume is just so attached to Barbie. Babylon even won production on last year. I know it's not like what the fuck does that do with anything, but I think it's like, sometimes when it's just too good, it's that good. Okay, you know what? Fuck it. I'm gonna stick with Barbie with BAFTA too. I'm not underestimating Poor Things here. I'm underestimating it big time at the Oscars. But the BAFTA, I'm not underestimating it. Barbie, I do think it's gonna happen anyway. I do think it's just like costumes. That's what Barbie is. It's costumes. Best editing is gonna be Oppenheimer. No question there. Makeup and hair, that's gonna be Maestro. Yeah, I know people got a little razzled by the Barbie Critics' Choice win, but I think it's just gonna be. I think that's just weird. Maestro's just gonna win. Maybe Poor Things can snag it, but like I'm pretty confident it's just gonna be Maestro. Original score: Ludwig Göransson. Congratulations, Oppenheimer's gonna win. No question about it. Let's move on to production design. A little more tricky. Poor Things won the ADG, beating Barbie. Oppenheimer won the period one, but it wasn't up against Poor Things, so I'm not even going to consider that. Like, okay, maybe I'll give it like a 5% chance of winning BAFTA. I'm really looking at Barbie and Poor Things, and again, it's just kind of like, I'm not as confident. Like, costumes, Barbie's going to win. Production design, I'm not as confident that Barbie's just going to take it at the Oscar. I'm predicting it, but like I actually am a little bit more afraid of Poor Things. Like, I would vote for Poor Things. Barbie built like Barbie Land, though. That's so sticky. Okay, you know what? Okay, I'll be fair, because I do think it has the edge right now. I'm going to give it to Poor Things. I'm going to say Poor Things is going to win this one. But don't think I'm confident about that, because I do think Barbie is, like, I think, like, the production design is a little bit more, like, culturally known than Poor Things are. But, like, Poor Things, unlike the costumes, I do think Poor Things' production design is a little bit more attached to the identity of that movie. Maybe not to the degree that Barbie is, but, like, it's enough where I do think it could top Barbie here in a place where Poor Things is much preferred. We want to best sound now and say that Oppenheimer has us in the bag. I give the Zone of Interest like 15% chance of snaking it from Oppenheimer. Here, at least. The Oscars, Oppenheimer's for sure. Here, I can maybe see a Zone of Interest upset, but I think it's going to be Oppenheimer. They loved Oppenheimer, too. Visual effects. Ooh, man, oh, man, oh, man, oh, man. Okay, so Guardians is not going to win. Poor Things isn't going to win. Mission Impossible's not going to win. It's going to be The Creator versus Napoleon. I really don't want to predict Napoleon, but I might. The Creator's going to win the Visual Effects Society. But Napoleon could win here. Fuck. I don't want Napoleon to be an Oscar winner, though. That's the problem. Fuck it. All right. Napoleon's a little bit more, like, prestige, I guess you could say. But The Creator, like, yeah, it's a blockbuster, but, like, and it's not, like, that good, but, like, it's not, like, a trashy blockbuster. It's not, like, a Marvel movie. And The Creator just looks better than Napoleon does. Napoleon looks ugly. I'll say Napoleon, and if I'm wrong, I'll be happy. And then let's just end this with Best British Film. I'll be quick. It's going to be Poor Things. All right, that's it. That's the fucking predictions. I am probably going to get most of these. Well, okay, a lot of them I just said Oppenheimer, so maybe I'll get a lot of these right. Like, subscribe, share, and I don't know, are you going to fucking be a little bitch who, like, if Oppenheimer loses, are you going to cry about it? Out of curiosity, are you going to cry if Oppenheimer loses?